Bookshop, Dodoma mjini barabara ya 8. Moshi, Ape Bookshop, Moshi mjini. Christian Bookshop, Moshi mjini.
Wahi nakala yako sasa kwenye duka lolote lililopo karibu nawe.
Capital News tonight. Case against former NIDA director and 6 others dismissed. In international, President Kenyatta to hand over Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho to Interpol. And in sports, Kinondoni Municipal Council's football team certain of staying in the Premier League this season. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam has dismissed the case and released the former Executive Director of the National Identification Authority, NIDA, Dickson Maimu, and 6 others after the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, say that he has no intentions of pursuing the case of economic sabotage and causing the government loss of 1.6 billion shillings against them. The decision to release the accused were made by a senior resident judge, Janet Mtega, after the prosecution led by Janet Mtega and Leonard Swai made the request whereby the defense claimed to have no opposition to the charges being dismissed. Apart from Maimu, other accused in the case include NIDA business manager Evelyn Momburi, Tehama Director Joseph Makani, Director of State Insurance Brokers Company Asser Indege, Transport Officer George Ntalima, Legal Director Sabina Raymond, and Xavier Kayombo. The principal case, in the principal case, the accused are facing charges of misuse of office, conspiracy, using fake documents to deceive their employer, and eventually causing the employer loss of over 1 billion shillings. Despite the charges being dropped, they are still in police custody. Now, moving on, 8 people alleged to be robbers have been killed during a firearm exchange with the police force in Kigoma region at Muyovozi Forest in Kakonko district. Kigoma Police Commander Martin Otieno said that the force received reports from residents of Mganza village on suspicious individuals working in their farms, and as they were following up on them, they started to exchange fire.
Tulipata taarifa kutoka kwa wananchi wakawahisi baadhi ya watu wanaofanya shughuli za vibarua mashambani.
We received some intelligence from local residents who were suspicious of some activities perpetrated by some farm laborers who were involved in some illegal activities. We conducted an investigation, and when we arrived at the crime scene, there was a fire exchange. I would like to urge the people of Kigoma to be vigilant, especially on people they employ as laborers, as some of them are involved in criminal activities.
The Chief Secretary, Ambassador John Kijazi, has today handed over 1,100,000 identifications for the second phase of the small-scale traders identification, which were created by President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli. Ambassador Kijazi handed over the IDs to regional commissioners throughout the country at the State House in Dar es Salaam and asked them to ensure that the IDs are given to the relevant individuals.
Leo tutawapa vingine 50,000.
Today we'll be giving you an additional 50,000 identity cards, meaning in the second phase, Dar es Salaam will receive 150,000, Arusha 100,000, Dodoma 50,000, Geita 35,000, Iringa 35,000, Kagera 35,000, Katavi 35,000, Kigoma 35,000, Kilimanjaro 40,000, Lindi 40,000, Manyara 35,000, Mara 40,000, Mbeya 80,000, Morogoro 40,000, Mtwara 40,000, Mwanza 55,000, Njombe 35,000, Pwani 35,000, Rukwa 30,000, Ruvuma 35,000, Shinyanga 35,000, Simiyu 35,000, Singida 40,000, Songwe 35,000, Tabora 40,000, and Tanga 35,000. There are some officers who are not faithful. They sell the ID cards given for more than 20,000 shillings. I asked the regional commissioners to deal with this. If you identify any officer doing so, then right measures must be taken against such individuals.
Ni akina nani hao, kwa sababu kiutumishi pia itabidi tuendelee kushughulika nao.
The Minister for Land, Housing and Human Settlements Development, William Lukuvi, has instructed residents who fail to receive their land ownership certificates on time due to the laziness of top land officials to be given those certificates immediately. Meanwhile, Minister Lukuvi has asked to receive a list of land officers who were responsible for the delay so that he can take legal action against them. In addition, Minister Lukuvi said that delaying the presentation of those certificates amounts to the crime of economic sabotage.
Hawa hawawezi kuwa wajinga wakaacha hati hapa zote zina kiwanja na kila kitu kwa miaka 10. Si wajinga.
I would like to say that these land officials cannot just leave people's rightful ownership certificates idle on the bookshelves for so long because they are stupid. Let me stress once again that there are no stupid land officials here. So I would like to reveal that there must be a way in which these land officials are illegally profiting from delaying the presentation of these land certificates to their rightful owners. Thus, in light of that, I am instructing these land officials to hand over the land certificates to their rightful owners immediately. I would also like to warn the land officials that they could be guilty of economic sabotage because if landowners do not have these certificates, then they cannot pay tax, which is needed, of course, by the government.
Huyu ameshalipa kiwanja lakini hajaingizwa kwenye mtandao, halipi kodi.
Over 40 wards with more than 300 people in Ngorodoto Ward, Arumeru district, who have never received electricity energy since independence have benefited from solar energy that is 5 kilowatts that was given for free by the government of South Korea so as to speed up the development of residents of village areas through electricity.
I'm so happy to be connected to solar power, and when the lights came on yesterday, I was very happy. 43 houses are now connected, and this is a big help.
The reason why I chose this village of Ngorodoto is it is off-grid solar electricity who do not have a privilege of enjoying thunderstorm electricity.
You must use this program to benefit yourselves and to be rid of poverty. We must make sure we see the results. Students will no longer read using kerosene lamps.
Now, despite the high speed of construction of classrooms in Handeni district, some of the classrooms lack the required amount of quality. This only came to light after cracks showed in the walls of those classrooms even before they had been used during an inspection of building of those classrooms in some of the secondary schools which are located in Handeni Town Council.
This wall right here has cracks. If we allow the construction work to carry on, then this could end up hurting the students. I doubt if the engineer in charge carried out any inspection. The engineer came and advised on how the cracks can be repaired.
Serikali inafanya kazi kwa maandishi.
The government works with written evidence. You must write to us and express any concerns so that in case of any problems, then the person responsible will be made answerable.
People affected by leprosy who are living in a home for the elderly and people with disabilities in Chanzi, Mvomero District, Morogoro region have asked the government to increase efforts in providing education to completely eradicate discrimination against them. A representative of those afflicted with leprosy, Fikira Ali, said this during commemoration of World Leprosy Day, which was held in Mvomero District, Morogoro region, where he also revealed that the disease is still a problem which has led to continued discrimination and stigma.
There is discrimination against people suffering from leprosy. Therefore, we ask for education to be given on all levels so as to rid this behavior. In the past, not much was known on how one could get leprosy. That is why there was segregation. Some were kept in isolation. But now we know about the causes and treatment. I believe if we work harder, we'll be able to eradicate it. The organization has also helped people with disability to access treatment. 1,650 people with disability have been operated on, and some have been given wheelchairs, and there are those who have been fitted with artificial limbs.
The National Prisons Force has started the process of moving its prisoners to 10 prisons across the country, which have been implementing an ongoing program intended to ensure that the prisoners and those detained in remand custody have enough food to eat.
This will simplify the implementation of objectives set for our prison, in addition to using prisoners, which is the main source of labor, in meeting our goals. The prison service is looking on how we can acquire other machinery such as a tractor. We last planted seeds 2 years ago in partnership with Beula Seeds Company. They owe us more than 87 million, which has not been paid. Since we've been given the new plan to plant crops for food purposes, we've temporarily stopped planting seeds so we can concentrate on planting maize for our prisons. We shall not wait for the equipment to arrive, but will proceed with the program. I know once we get a tractor, we'll be able to cultivate land much quicker. 300 hectares is not a big piece of land, but it is taking longer because we don't have a tractor just yet.
9 Karomia diggers trees that can be found in the Mtundu Forest, Mbeya, and the Litipo Forest in Lindi region, which are said to be found in only Tanzania and Kenya globally, are in danger of becoming extinct if the pace of the destruction of natural resources is not swiftly addressed.
Tunafanyia kazi mti mwingine unaojulikana kwa jina la Eheretia.
We are carrying out research on some trees which, according to international guidelines, they are listed as endangered species. Our institute has been collecting seeds to reproduce.
Kwa mujibu wa shirika la uhifadhi la kimataifa au IUCN,
tunayo mikakati kwa kweli.
We have a plan to protect trees on danger of extinction. We are collecting seeds from various areas, but also in areas where the trees that produce the seeds are found are also protected.
Hizo hifadhi tunazilinda kama wakala.
Wakati tunafikiria kuimarisha mambo yote haya, lazima tufikirie kibiashara.
As we plan on achieving objectives set, we must do so with a business mind so that it becomes profitable. You've mentioned that you involve local communities. They should be involved too so they can help spread the technology.
And officials of the United Nations dealing with women's rights have met with councillors of the Women Judges and Magistrates Association in Tanzania to discuss the continued issues with women's rights in African countries.
The issue of women's access to justice is of concern globally, not only to the United Republic of Tanzania. But all over the world, even in developed countries, women continue to have problems accessing justice. And that is because the institutions that are responsible for delivering justice are not necessarily equipped with the knowledge and the skills to be able to support women access justice. So let me give you one example. All over the world, there is a tendency for the police to turn women away whenever they report cases of violence committed against them in the home. And the police would often tell them to go back home to their husbands to settle the issue out of court.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows shortly. And in international news tonight. Now, 3 months after two relatives, Bakhtash and Ibrahim Akasha, who were transported to the United States to answer charges of drug trafficking, admitted to taking part in the legal business, pled guilty before Manhattan Federal Court in New York. Now, some political leaders in Kenya are alleging that Mombasa County Governor Hassan Joho was involved in the illegal drugs trade.
Engineer Oscar said it is about time now that President Uhuru Kenyatta to send Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan to the United States of America and file a case of drug trafficking against him. I want to be frank with Honorable President that if you want our children to dwell in drugs, keep on entertaining such activities. But if your conscience is to save the children of this nation, then take this man to where he belongs. On 12th of December 2010, the former Minister of Security, George Saitoti, announced the names of those responsible in selling and distributing drugs in Kenya. Recently, the family renowned for trafficking and distributing drugs has been imprisoned in Rikers Island after admitting the charges of drug trafficking.
Fear has continued in upper north of Uganda in what has been claimed to be conflict between two communities, Acholi and Madi. Residents in the area claim that the people engaging in the evasion were carrying machetes and knives and have continued to dig up graves and remove bodies of deceased in what is thought to be a plan to remove the residents forcefully.
People came here and began burning houses and stole cattle later. My two children were laid to rest here. Their bones have all been dug out. Unfortunately, I met these culprits while doing this act, and they threatened to kill me if I will intervene. We are at the camp with nothing to feed our children.
Residents on the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo have complained on the hike in fuel prices as they gain Felix Tshisekedi as a new president.
With a newly elected president, the fuel prices have gone up. The roads are bad. Few people use it now. The rise in prices is because of Kabila. I wonder why all of a sudden we have to pay 12 francs per litre. If taxes are increased, people must be prepared and just wake up and decide. For many poor people, we must communicate. People need to be involved in such sensitive matters.
Police in Rwanda declare war against school owners who fail to prevent the theft of laptops, which have begun to occur constantly in the country.
A fight has been announced due to the large number of laptops being stolen, a situation that is retarding government efforts in providing laptops to every child. 774 laptops were stolen last year. Some measures have been addressed to school leaders who have failed to secure these laptops. We have discovered that most of you deal with thieves in stealing these laptops. I promise to deal with you according, so this is a very serious war.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly after the break of bread.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight, Morogoro region has become the first to set aside mineral auction centers after the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli's directive in Dar es Salaam when he met with small and large-scale miners as well as various mineral stakeholders.
The minerals officer will be responsible in inspecting genuine minerals. Police officer, national security officers and TRA officers are all stakeholders who will be present. There are several means of getting minerals. There are those involved in mining activities. There are buyers and brokers who deal with miners directly.
The government has said that to date it has already taken 14 out of 26 industries that had been privatized and needed to be revived to increase productivity in the employment market as well as production, and continued to emphasize that those who have been unable to develop the sum of the remaining factories to return them.
Kwamba serikali ya Uingereza itaendelea kusaidia.
The United Kingdom government will continue supporting provision of social services from education, health, water, and as for this industrial sector, there's an advisory board to work with them, with the Ministry of Education who will support in vocational education.
Zungumzia umuhimu waendelee kuzungumza na Wizara ya Elimu ili waendelee kusaidia upande wa elimu ya ufundi.
Simiyu region has been listed as one of the best regions that can raise its economy quickly using industries and in collaboration with the private sector, as the region has set a good investment policy. This was said by the Managing Director of TPSF, Godfrey Simbeye, in a business council meeting conducted at Alliance School in Bariadi.
We have heard and witnessed how much this region has contributed in the industrial sector. We have appreciated the work done by Anthony Mtaka in his region. As traders, all these efforts are beneficial to us. You can see that our Form 4 students have performed wonders in the national examination last year, because everybody in this region is now fully aware of the importance of private sector and education.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Brown from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, a hip it, the hip 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 hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm. rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
With Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
Welcome back, and in sports news, the Kinondoni Municipal Council football team says they are 75% certain of remaining in the Premier League this season, and now they are focused on making sure that they reach their second goal, which is to finish the season in the top 5 position.
Well, at least top 5.
Our second aim is to at least finish in the top 5. And up to now, we are third, despite the fact that Simba has many games in hand. But we don't know what will happen. So we are third, and we thank God. This did not just happen. It is a connection of many things, since Coach Etienne came with his bench, and he was given the players he wants.
Benfica women's team have taken their astonishing debut season to new heights with a record of 32-0 win. Here are more details.
The new side, packed with internationals, has scored past 300 goals after being forced to start in the Portuguese Women's League second division. The Eagles launched their campaign with a then-record 28-0 victory over Ponte de Frielas in September. Another 28-0 triumph followed as they reached the 15-game mark in league and cup action on 261 goals without reply. And yesterday, Benfica surpassed even that, Darlene leading the way with 10 goals as they destroyed CP Pego 32-0. Being part of one Portugal's 3 biggest clubs meant the Eagles were always likely to run amok in the lower tier.
And Malaysia has been stripped of hosting the 2019 World Para-Swimming Championships for refusing to let Israel compete with the International Paralympic Committee. Here's more on the story.
Malaysia, which is a majority Muslim country, banned the athletes because of what Kuala Lumpur sees as Israel's poor treatment of Palestinians. The Israeli Foreign Ministry condemned the decision and accused Malaysia of anti-Semitism. The event was due to begin on 29th of July. When a host country excludes athletes from a particular nation for political reason, then we have absolutely no alternative but to look for new championships host, said International Paralympic Committee IPC President Andrew Parsons.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.